Hello, welcome to the first ever ParkSpill live stream, and I'm bricking it. Oh yes. So it's nice to see we've got 5 viewers. I didn't even think we'd have 5 viewers. So thanks for joining us. If you want to join in the chat, give me some company. That would be brilliant. That'd be lovely. So you're gonna have to bear with me because, like I say, first ever live stream. I've had to learn a whole new piece of software. I've got my actual good camera as a webcam, so there's a lot going on, and plus I'm going to be, as the title says, showing you through Planet Coaster. And as you know, if you do play Planet Coaster, it's a very intensive game in terms of on your CPU, so I'm just hoping it's not going to be too bad and too laggy. So the reason I kind of did it as a live stream for the Planet Coaster stuff is because I'm not the type of person who can just focus on one thing in terms of like just doing a screen capture and speeding it up. That's not the way I do it really. So we already got one. Got a little comment from Luke and Joe. So yeah, it's I thought it'd be nice just to do a bit of a walk through this park I've got going on. See, I can't multitask already. And then do that really. So I've been playing a Planet Coaster for 2 months. So I am very much a beginner. So you'll see this in the park. It kind of represents it a little bit in terms of it gets better as it goes through the park, which is kind of like a normal theme park really. As they get more money, they invest. So it'd be quite cool. So I think we'll probably just get into it and see what we got going. Let's just hope this works now. And like I say, if anything goes wrong, I will fix it. Don't worry, I'll fix it. All right, cool. So let's see if this works. Okay, so we've got our park. So yeah, if you don't know Coaster, if anyone's watching who doesn't follow CoasterGen on YouTube, if you want to see someone who can really build parks and coasters, especially in No Limits as well, go check that out. So, like I say, this is Century Park. Now, I'm not 100% set on the name. It was one of the names that comes to me because this park, I'll explain it as we go through why it's called Century Park. But if anyone has a better name for it, feel free to suggest it. And if I prefer it to to this name, then I'll definitely do it. So first of all, we have the plaza. So this is obviously the first thing I really ever built. I forgot to mention that this is the first park I've ever built in Planet Coaster. So my hope is that people will politely critique my work. Not too harsh though, not too harsh. But they'll politely critique it, and I'll get better as I go along. So, and like I say, it's just nice to maybe chat to some people if they fancy it. So I'll just explain you through it. So obviously we have this like nice kind of, it's almost like a castle but not quite a castle, it's more like a manor house in my head. And eventually, because we've got the train over here, and even just looking at this now, I can completely see that this is so top heavy up there, so that needs to be redone. But I did a better train station in another part of the park that I'm thinking of like replicating. So I'll come back to these things, these houses. So this is basically a hotel. It's like a kind of a boutique hotel, one of the expensive ones. Obviously it's an actual hotel in there and toilets. And then, but like I say, this is very much in progress, so you'll see things kind of not like in order. So let's go through. Oh, actually no, I was going to show you this. So these just look like houses from the front, but actually what it's meant to be is kind of like a staff building. And something I like doing in Planet Coaster is building like behind the scenes, like the actual bits where the staff would go. And this is kind of like the staff entrance to the park. So as you can see, it's a bit crappy at the back. And what inspired me for this was you can actually go on Google Maps and do Google Maps around towers, and you can actually see behind Tower Street car park, the staff car park, and you can see what it looks like behind there. And it is kind of a bit like this, like it's not very nice to look at, but that sort of stuff really intrigues me, because if you ever see any behind the scenes of even like Disney World, like they have like tunnels that go underneath all the park for the staff to get to different places. If you see pictures of them, they look really rubbish, and that's Disney World. Do you know what I mean? So that's just something I like about parks for some reason. It's like peering behind the curtain, really. And you can see this. Like I say, this is a hotel. So yeah, we've got that. And what I was going to say was, eventually this train will be going across here, really. So let's just check the chat before I go too fast. Like I say, there's a bit of a lag, so if I don't reply straight away, it's because of the lag. Let's see. So Luke Coastergen is saying thanks for that, Sean. Yeah, brilliant. I just watched was watching Luke's stream and about Alton Towers when he went there last season. Really cool, actually. Hello, Mr. Cola Roaster. Really, thanks for your support as always, mate. You're always on. Bayamos Trims, hello. It just seems like we have the Coastergen a lot. Makes me nervous because you guys, I think, are used to seeing really cool parks, but so yeah. So this is kind of like going into the first bit. So we haven't really got any shops this side, but this would mainly be like a nice little lake to eat around. There's just a lot of eatery places. And like I say, with Century Park, my idea for it was a park that as you go around, as you work away around the park, it goes from the past to the future, but in kind of a fantasy type of setting. And it'll make more sense when I go through it, really. So we have, yeah. I'm hoping, let me just check this is all running okay, because obviously I don't want the quality to go down too much. Oh, it's looking alright, actually. It's not too bad. I'm looking a bit red because I've just suddenly gone really hot. It's really hot in this room because it's like at the top of the house. So yeah, this is kind of like an indoor eating area. But like I say, there's a lot of decoration I still want to do. But actually what I'll do is... Coaster Jen. 8 watching and 8 likes, guys. Come on, he's using it. Honestly, I didn't expect anyone to be watching this. I kind of did this instead of just doing an edited video, because I've been trying to do live video, one video a day this week, and it's literally killed me. So I thought this was the easier option, really. But yeah, this is a bit of a... You can kind of see it goes all the way around there. So I know we'll this building here, obviously, it's a bit... I've taken it apart. But this will be the Sky Rides station building. Yeah, so we'll go down here. The thing with me, with Planet Coaster, I do love, like, generally love riding roller coasters, but for me, this game isn't for building roller coasters. For me anyway, it's more about the building and the theming. So I think that's kind of represented in my coaster building, because my coaster building skills are rubbish. So yeah, this part of the park is kind of like a Victorian style fairground has kind of landed in this nice little village. And here we go, let's go around here. So yeah, it's kind of all kind of vintagey type rides, and this would obviously be the oldest part of the park, and then we'll get to the I'm trying to keep an eye on the comments as well. Sorry, guys. It's not easy, is it? This live streaming malarkey, keeping an eye on everything. So yeah, this is just like a little custom bridge, but you know, standard really. So yeah, we get into like kind of my favourite part of the park now, where we get to like the first coaster. I guess it would be like a Gerstlauer Infinity coaster, really, built into the landscape. And this was the first. Well, it's like the third coaster I ever built, because I obviously had like a sand making coasters anyway, but this was the first proper one I had a go at. And there's so much about this I would change now. But like I say, for me, it's more about the theming. So the problem with me is I can kind of get the elements right, and the thought behind it, but it just never seems to be like smooth or realistic. But I guess that's just a problem with Planet Coaster. So it kind of goes around here, and then we have the train that kind of glides along it, and we have this massive pit that it goes down. So probably not that realistic coaster, but I like it. So next up, obviously you can see this is still half built, because what I'll be doing after I do this overview, I don't think I'll be doing any building in this episode because it's my first one. I kind of just want to get used to the whole stream and then just show you an overview of the park and what my plan for the park is going forward. So yeah, this is like the haunted, I guess, like the gloomy woods style place, or the haunted mansion area at any of the Disney worlds. And I really like this area. For me, it come out really well. So obviously, this is the ride up here. I'm just checking. Can you actually see my mouse? I'm not sure if I don't think I activated my mouse. Yeah, I didn't do that. Let me just try and activate that. I don't think it is on, is it? So OBS decided to do an update just before this happened because I restarted my computer. Oh, it's saying on. Oh well. Okay, well, I don't know, maybe I'm just not seeing it, but oh no, it is there. Idiot. It's gone wrong already, guys. I'm sorry. Anyway, on with that. So yeah, this is the ride part of it up there, and this is like the queue line that goes up to there, and this is kind of like a gift shop, and also the exit to the ride. As you can see, it goes around the back of there. And oh yeah, Joe just said, yeah, you can see my cursor. So yeah, what was funny enough, the proudest thing about this part was actually these steps. I did that old trick, you see, where you can put a shop in, and it gives you like smaller little steps, really. And this is actually going to eventually be kind of all kitted out with clothes and stuff. I've done that style of shop, what isn't really functional inside Planet Coaster, but just looks cool. But yeah, that's the exit bit. So something you'll see in this game is there's so many places to eat and drink, so many shops, because I just never know what to put there. So yeah, so this part is kind of called the Crypt Cafe. So you go down here again. This is not finished at all. I'm a bit ADHD with all this stuff. I can't just spend all my time in one place. I just kind of go to one area to another. But yeah, so they're going to have some actual toilets. They're actually covered in earth at the minute. And then yeah, just like an outdoor eating area there. So this ride is still not built, like everything, it's not built. But obviously you can see there's a big show building around the back. I've kind of half started on it, but that's going to probably basically be one of my live streams, which is trying to finish this dark ride. But I'll show you how we enter through it. So something I really want to do in this park is make the queue lines kind of as interactive and interesting as possible, because that's something I like at theme parks, when the queue lines are cool. So eventually this will look like you're going into the basement. Yeah, there we go. And then obviously into the ride itself. What? There we go. So yeah, that's that bit, and then we'll eventually have like a small little village of these kind of like Tim Burton-esque style houses that took me so long to do, because obviously you have to do each wall as its own building, really. But yeah, they come out better than I expected. Let's put it that way. So I'm gonna have a drink and look at the chat. So we've got Steve saying, I built a haunted house a bit like that. Was quite proud of it. Used a lot of the spooky pack and animatronics. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's that the spooky pack was a godsend to me because I love like haunted stuff really, and it's one of the things that made me start getting back into Planet Coaster, because when it first come out, I played it for like a few days, and obviously a lot of the bugs have been ironed out now, but when I first played it, I just found it like unplayable in terms of like I think it was like you couldn't build scenery, you couldn't build like coasters through scenery and things like that, and when I started playing it again 2 months ago, I was like, this is so much better now. So we get to, so this is the train station I was talking about. I like this a little bit better. I'll show you the inside there in a sec. But yeah, this is kind of like a pirate harbour. So this again is kind of like a restaurant-y place, eatery. But yeah, it's kind of just be a nice place to sit and eat stuff really. But my idea with this was, you can see it's kind of staggered back, so the peeps can't get up to the back here. But I just wanted to have that look of kind of like a Cornish harbour, where you would just see them staggered up. And I tried to do a bit of forced perspective, but I don't think it worked that well, if I'm honest. But yeah, I really like this part. It's probably my second favourite part of this park, really. But the whole idea of this is the pirates are kind of slowly taking over. They haven't taken over just yet, but there's signs that they're around, like this kind of little pub up there and things like that. Again, scenery, I need to do so much scenery here, and I'm going to make a little market stall around here. And then we have the train station. So yeah, this is like I was saying, I think I want the train station at the entrance to be more kind of representative of that. I'm going to take my earphones off because I can't hear myself talking. It's weird. But yeah, it's kind of Victorian era-esque kind of train station, kind of ornate with all this sort of stuff. But yeah, I think it just shows, like I'm saying, I'm not amazing at Planet Coaster, but I think it shows from the front of the park to here, like kind of how my skills developed a little bit. Okay, so Jen, imagine a B&M Hyper behind all that. Or a Mac. That would be sick, actually. Yeah, that would be cool, mate. So, yeah, so we, again, like I say, I like to do the interiors of stuff. I don't like to just have, like, nothing inside them. I try and keep something in them. So, got, like, an eatery place. Oh, man. The controls on Planet Coaster do made in sometimes. Pirates Rest, so like a toilet stop. Again, just more places to eat. You never be short of places to eat around here, but if you go to a lot of theme parks, that's what it's like, man. They want you to spend money on the food. So this is a restaurant, and then we kind of go through here. So I've not had peeps come through this park yet, so I don't know how all this is going to work in terms of, is this going to be like a massive bottleneck? Hopefully not. So I know that they tend to go like the path of least resistance, so if I make another path the other side, will people not come this way to this side of the park? I don't know. I'm not sure how it's going to work yet. So then we have this like nice little street, where it's like a little village, and at the end you can just about see a log flume that's not even built yet. I just need to put that part there so I could actually get the vantage point right. But we have, this is the shop I was on about. So when I went to Disney World, I was really, one thing what impressed me the most, there's so many things, but the fact that Main Street is one long shop. It looks like multiple shops, but it's like one long shop inside, and that just like blew my mind for some reason. So that's kind of what I tried to do here in terms of create a nice long shop. I've not really stocked it up yet, but eventually it will be. I love these like the game board made by, I think Geekism made this. Geekism definitely made these. Johnny from Geekism definitely made the tills, I know that much. But yeah, so it goes like the length of the shop, and yeah, I'm quite proud of that, actually, quite proud. And then even this way, I like looking this way. But obviously you can see everything's a bit basic. There's a lot of, that's not even connected up there, but there's a lot of like little final touches I need to do on all these buildings to kind of bring them to life and not look so boxy. But yeah, I think after I've done the pirate part down here, we're going to go to the proper pirate shanty town place. I'm going to just work backwards on the park and finish everything off. So yeah, this is going to be like the main pirate bit. So I only started working on this at the weekend on Sunday. So this was my attempt at a GCI. Now I'm not doing custom supports because that would I would want to end my life basically if I had to do all that. But this is very much the style of a GCI in terms of like the turned drop, and I tried to do it so it's like, it's kind of like straight bits go over top of the straight bits in a way, because GCIs tend to do that a little bit. They don't put like two bendy bits on over the top of each other or something. So yeah, that's the GCI. So this is going to be kind of themed to the main pirate captain's house, and he's built this massive train track through it, and there's going to be some kind of loose storyline of trying to get away with the bounty or something like that, really. So, but yeah, it looks good. It's kind of like, I think in terms of, it's not a massively thrilling coaster. Well, it probably would be, because even Wicker Man is pretty thrilling, and that's a tiny ride. So, but it's not like really long or anything. I'm gonna have a vape. Sorry. Let's catch up on the comments. Reminds me of York Bruges. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's kind of like going through that. I love them little. I love little towns. That's why I love York, especially because you got these little cobbled streets and stuff, and it kind of, I just like them little things, and I just wish that I'd see more of that in theme parks. But yeah, I haven't done the interior of this just yet. But yeah, it's going to be a nice kind of indoor queue line. But yeah, so that kind of brings me to the end of this tour of the park, really. I'm going to eventually make that into like a skull, a proper detailed skull carving. They've got one in the game, but it's too small. I want it to be absolutely massive. And just started around here. So it's going to, like I say, it's going to be mainly like pirate shanty around here. Like the pirates are fully taken over. It's going to be some old buildings. But yeah, that's it, really. Yeah, the history of York is fascinating, Ben. Me and Joe went there last October. Actually, I've got this. I'm actually drinking out of this Hallow Scream, which is York Maze, which is an amazing maze in York. It's great, and the actual dungeons there, like I'm trying to do all the dungeons in the UK, even though they get a bit tiring after a while because they're all the same. I'm trying to do all of them, but York is probably, for me, it's second to Warwick Castle one, I think. Ride the Coasters, that's what Luke's saying. Oh man, yeah, but I can't. Okay, we'll do this one. Like I say, I've kind of got the basic elements are all there. It just needs a little bit of fine tuning. But you can, after riding this, you can actually tell me how I can improve my coaster building, I think. So here we go. So I'm not going to do all that the way around. Could you imagine? I'll let you enjoy that. And we are back. So, yeah. What's Steve saying? It's the second GCI to have a 2-angle lift hill. Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. That was Wicker Man was definitely the inspiration. But yeah, even like the I love it when GCIs have that flyover for the train station. That was like when we was in Toverland. I love that flyover. Yeah, just needs it's good. Just needs stretching out a lot. Yeah, exactly. I mean, especially this double up here. It's like too much, really. But yeah, like I say, I'm trying to slowly get used to intercoaster building. I've been reading like books on how coasters work, because still trying to get my head around them. It's one thing to know like the elements and stuff, but it's another on how like the physics of them actually work. Tried to play No Limits, but yeah, I'm far too dumb for that. So yeah, we won't do the other coaster just yet because that is an absolute mess. But in the next one, we will do it after I've done a little bit of tweaking to it. But yeah, just check out that back end. Oh yeah, that smoking area. Check out that, complete with little fab bots. Yeah, love it. But yeah, that's the park, man. Like I say, any critiquing, I don't take it personally, because like Planet Coaster, it's something I want to get better at, and it's like it's not my life. I just I just like it in the terms of like it's a bit like miniature. It's like a miniature railway style hobby for me. It's just I love all the little bits to it, and like the back area bits and things like that. But yes, is there anything else anyone wants to see except for POV? Behemoth's trim saying looks a lot better than my coasters. It's like an art in itself, building coasters. It really is. There's a reason why it's such a well-paid job. Because like, you know, some of these elements on here, like I looked at them and I was like, they just would not work really. It's just too compact. I don't know, with the Infinity Coaster, maybe that it's not too compact, because they can be a little bit more compact. But it's yeah. So I'm gonna exit out of here now. How long have we been streaming for, man? 32 minutes. Bang on. I got that right. Oh yes. So, but yeah, I hope that was good for my my first live stream, really. And yeah, exactly, Ben. That's really what got me back into I think doing Planet Coaster again. Is the fact that we can't get to the parks. We literally got back from Florida, went to some amazing themed areas, and I just wanted to try my hand at doing some theming, mainly theming, like I say. But I am getting slowly more and more into the coaster building side of things. But let's have a look. Have I missed any comments? When you do the future area of the park, you could do a space sci-fi area, build it underground so it would be permanently dark. I've done that in one of my parks. Bang on, mate, Steve. I was actually thinking for the future area was going to be like apocalyptic. So it's kind of like there's a story that goes through the park that's kind of like there's a curse that goes. The pirates bring a curse, and then they turn, and then we go into the future. And it's very apocalyptic. It's going to be very dark. It's going to be quite like, I love Alton Towers because it's dark, so it's that type of theming really. But yeah, anyway, I think that's me done. Thank you for joining me on this live stream. It's been emotional. I think I'm going to be way more comfortable now doing the next one going forward, because actually it's just everyone's really nice. No one's been horrible, so that's all good. So we will see you in the next one. Obviously, I think most people here are like following or subscribed anyway. And if you're not following me on Twitter, that's where I'm the most active, when I'm not kind of on YouTube and things like that in the comment section. So yeah, it's been a pleasure to have you, and I will see you very soon. See you later. Bye bye.